Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do a super quick look, kind of a tutorial, but more like a just chat along while I do it. This is a look that I do all the time. You guys have definitely seen me do it before, but I just figured that with the summer months coming, it's really important to be able to do, well, not even really important, but for me, a big staple in my makeup routine for the summer is to do a super natural, like no makeup looking dewy kind of look. So I figured I would do my version of that for you guys today, just because it is a beautiful day outside. And you know, in the summer, I don't want to be wearing a ton of makeup all the time. And it's really nice to look like just that sun-kissed glowy thing, really healthy skin. So I thought I would do that today. So the first step in this for me is going to be to take my MAC Fix Plus. Now this is the coconut flavor. It's just in a weird bottle because I got it with a special collection. So I always like to take this first and give my face a really good spray with it, just to kind of get it starting to be moisturized and all of that stuff, because I personally do have a lot of really dry patches on my face, and I find that the key for these kind of makeup looks is to be super hydrated and moisturized. So if you guys have never tried this before, I'll just talk about it super quickly while my face is drying. It's a really well-known product. It has 4 scents now, I believe. So I think there's this one, like a lavender and a rose one. For some reason, I thought there was a cucumber one, but I don't actually know that there is, and there should be, because that would be awesome. But anyway, so this is really good as, like I said, you can put it on as kind of a primer, as a moisturizer, just kind of like quick spritz, like thermal water. Really good for setting makeup, and really good to affix like glitters and like glitter, I can't even think of the word, shadows and stuff like that, to brushes a little better, just to give them a bigger pop. So next, after doing that, I am going to take my MAC Prep and Prime Moisture Infusion. This is just kind of like a serum that I like to put on before I put some of my other makeup on. So it's just a white gel. It's got a little chunk in it from where I squeezed it out. And this is just going to add another layer of moisture, because like I said, the whole point of this is you want to be super moisturized. I was actually just thinking of something. Okay, it's not, but when I get to it, I'll talk about it. So just get that all worked right into. And I find that my driest spots are not only like up in my T-zone area, but kind of right here under my eyes and up into my nose. So I like to spend a little extra time doing there, because I learned this particular look from my friend Jill at MAC. She had to do it for me for kind of like her test, because at MAC, like to get certified at different levels, they have to do different testing. So I was her test model while she practiced, and it was for runway certification. The look that they were looking for was like a really glowy, dewy, natural kind of look. And she said your skin should sort of bounce, so you should push it down and it should just like spring right back up. And that means that you're adequately moisturized. So then the last step that I'm going to do in moisturizing, and this is also going to start the glow process, is I'm going to take some MAC Strobe cream. And you're going to notice as I'm going through this tutorial that the majority of the products I'm using are MAC. If you've been with me for any length of time, I do have a lot of other brands now, but MAC was where I got my start. It has been and probably will always be my favorite, if not one of my favorites. This is just the Peachlite Strobe Cream. They do come in several colors. And I know that they put it on with a brush when they did my makeup, but I don't know. I just find it's just easier just to put it all over my face with my fingers. Doesn't really make a difference, I don't think, anyway. And this kind of not only gives you that little bit of more glow, because it is a reflective, there's like little reflective pearls in it, but it also just adds another layer of moisture to your skin. So now that I think I am good and moisturized, we can move on to the foundation, because for this look, I am not going to be doing any real eye makeup. You definitely could throw in some kind of like bronzy sort of a look, but my whole point of this was to look like I'm not really wearing any. So for that reason, I'm not going to add in any like eye makeup at all, but definitely go for it if that's something you want to do. I'm just going to reach behind me. I have this like little old lid of a tin that I like to put my foundation in. So for foundation today, I'm going to be using my MAC Studio Face and Body. I wear the shade, okay, for this tutorial, I'm using the shade N5. I know that this is crazy dark for me, but because I want this to be like a bronze kind of glowy look, I find that this is an easier way to get a kind of more natural bronzed look. And it's not matte, so it still looks really dewy, because there's not a ton of bronzers, unless you get into cream bronzers and that sort of thing, that don't leave a matte or powdery finish. So I just take like 3 or 4 drops of this stuff. And just to make it a little bit more glowy, I'm actually going to take my Marc Jacobs Dewdrops as well. These are the ones in 50 Do You. Now they did actually just come out with a special edition of these, which I do have, but it's just not what I want to use for this. So then I take a pump of that and I put it in the middle. And I'm almost out of this, which will break. Oh, look at that. Just like a goopy line coming out. It'll break my heart when I run out. So I already have a backup. I can't show you it because I'm using it to support my cell phone. For a brush today, I know for most of my foundations, I use kind of like, it looks like a short fan brush, but today I'm going to use this one. This is my MAC 170 brush. It's kind of like a short-haired kabuki brush with a long handle. I'm just going to take it straight in there and kind of mix it all together. And then just kind of in a pouncing action, do that all over my face. What that'll do is make sure that I don't get a ton of streaks of where I put it. And it'll also kind of make sure it's evenly dispersed and that there's not too much product in any one place. And the reason that and I've said this before, that I like to put my foundation in a pan before I put it on my face. Like I know some people just put it straight on their face, but that way if I put a little less in the pan, that way if I do end up needing more, I can add more. It's not a problem. And if I take too much, yeah, it sucks. I've wasted product, but at least I haven't like slathered it all over my face. So, like I don't feel like obligated to use it and my makeup doesn't cake up. And like I said, I normally do a pouncing action all over my face, but I am doing a little dragging action just down my neck to kind of blend it out because I'm obviously not as dark as this foundation is. So for that reason, I want it to blend. Also, I have this huge freaking zit coming in and it is so painful. So I do apologize for that. And I'm hoping you guys can kind of already see that like I've kind of got like a little like gleam to me. Now, if you are more into a matte look, this is not going to be the look for you, but you can see how my face kind of still looks a little bit wet, but not sweaty, if that makes any sense. It looks just glowy and very alive and very refreshed. Now, the one thing that I do wish is that this had SPF in it. And there are definitely foundations you can get that do have SPF, which would be even better for the summer. I'm not going to worry about it right now because I'm not even going outside tonight other than maybe to barbecue for dinner. But it's so late anyway, I'm not really going to get exposed to sun, but that is something you might want to consider, is mixing in either like an SPF foundation or put a sunscreen on underneath your makeup just to make sure that you're covered, because nobody wants a sunburn. Nobody wants that. I mean, I say that and then I go tanning. But whatever. So for a concealer today, because like I said, I got some dirty zits to cover all over my chin. Side note, I am trying like a new, like, I laugh because it's like a no carb, low carb diet, because I do eat really bad food 90% of the time. So I'm going to the Dominican again in August, with Tom. So I want to kind of get down a little bit in weight and get like beach ready. So we're doing this like low carb diet thing. And right now my body is like, I don't want to say rejecting it because it's not, but like all of the sugars that were in my body are all like getting forced out right now. So I'm breaking out like a crazy person. I'm also running every day after work, which is crazy because I always told everybody I would never run unless I was being chased. And now I run. So I'm using the Naked Skin because it is a full coverage concealer, but for whatever reason, it's a little like lighter than some other ones are. And it just, for me personally, it blends out just a lot better than most foundations do. So I'm just adding that in some places. And I'm going to let that kind of sit and tack down a little bit just so it becomes easier to blend, so that when I bring in my beauty blender, it doesn't all just wear away. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to do my eyebrows. This is not a specific thing to this look by any means. So when it comes to this, if you're going to try this look, or if you guys want to do your own version and then send me a video of it, do your eyebrows as you see fit, obviously. I more or less just kind of fill in my sparse hairs in the center than anything. I have never gotten my eyebrows waxed. I tweeze them on my own time, if even. So my eyebrows are a little bit fuller than I know a lot of people's are. Just the way that I like it. I'm not going to put that on yet. I am looking for my beauty blender. Which story of my life has gone missing? 1 second. Good news, you guys. I found it. It had fallen under the bed. That's great. So I'm just going to take it and kind of just pat it down a little bit. Because again, I don't want to take up all of it. I just kind of want to blend it out a little bit better. And of course, it's going to ruin some of the foundation I did. So you could definitely conceal first if you wanted and then add the foundation over top. This is just a habit of mine now. Oh, don't forget to do the cross you have on your forehead, Sam. So that's a little bit better. So now that that's done, I am going to go in with a little bit of my setting powder just because I don't want that to move around a lot. And I also am going to add a little itty bit of bronzer over top just to make up for the areas that I kind of just covered. And because of that, I don't want to put foundation or bronzer straight over concealer because I find for me personally, if I don't let it tack down or I don't set it properly, it does cake up in those areas. And then my under eyes would be super, super dark with bronzer and very powdery, and that kind of defeats the whole purpose of concealing anyways. So, just saying. There's something in my eye though. Okay. So for bronzer today, I decided to go with my Hourglass bronzer. This is the Luminous Bronze Light. It looks like this. And the reason I picked this one is because it is a lighter bronzer. There's also a little bit of shine and glow in it, so it's not completely taking away from the glowiness that I already have going. Glowiness, is that a word? I don't think so. And if you guys have seen me do it before, you know I have a bronzer problem and I just kind of put it all over the place. But since this is a bronzy kind of look, I'm okay with that. And same thing, I am going to drag it down a little bit. Nothing crazy, just enough to kind of warm the face and even out where I just put all that concealer. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to go in with blush. And for blush today, I decided to use this Wet n Wild, oh, the brush fell. This Wet n Wild Color Icon Apricot in the middle. It's just a really, really subtle blush for my skin tone anyways, because like I said, I do want this to be super natural and just look like no makeup. So just a little bit of color to the cheek almost just looks like a natural flush rather than like a bright pink or bright red or anything blush that would really take away from the whole look. Now I feel like I actually did put too much on, so I'm just going to kind of blend it down a little bit just to tone it down a tiny bit. Now that that is done, we're also, of course, going to highlight because how can you have a glowy summertime look without any highlight? And for that, I'm going with my Old Faithful, my Soft and Gentle, because I find that this, for me at least, is just the most natural looking one. It's the most like my skin tone. It's just like a really soft, subtle peach. There's no intense glitters in it. It just works really well for me. Just like that. And then the last thing that there is to do, well, there's two more steps. So first thing, we're going to do mascara because even though I said I don't want any eye makeup, I am going to do just a little bit. But you'll notice I'm using my roller lash, and I'm only going to use my roller lash because I just want to make them a little darker, a little bit more apparent, a little bit more emphasized. I don't want to be putting on like this and then my Better Than Sex mascara and making them look super, super like volumized and amplified and like crazy because again, I think that just defeats the purpose of the whole look, just my personal opinion. And then the last thing I'm going to do is take my MAC Strobe body lotion. So this is exactly like MAC Strobe cream, but it's meant for your whole body. And I'm going to just take some of that and just kind of put it on my shoulders and a little bit on my chest just to kind of like, I don't even know if you guys can see it doing anything. It just adds the little, just slightest amount of like a glow to my skin. There we go. Maybe now you can kind of see it. Just a little bit, just so that it, again, because it looks kind of silly if your face is super glowy and stuff like that, and then the rest of your body just is matte. It just kind of looks funny. At this point, too, you could definitely add like a super natural looking lip gloss. The reason I am not going to today is because I am planning on filming 3 or 4 more videos today. I'm not 100% sure yet. And some of them will include lip swatches. So I'm not going to waste my time putting lips on when I'm just going to be wiping it off in a minute anyways. So the final step will be to set my makeup. So again, you could definitely go back to using your MAC Fix Plus. This would definitely leave a dewy kind of a look, but I am going to change it up a little itty bit because I have got the MAC Fix Plus Pinklite, and so I thought I would just try that. Now, one thing that I kind of found interesting is all of like the shimmer settled to the bottom. So you got to give it a really good shake because I haven't used it in a while. So that is just going to add an extra little bit of glow to my finished makeup. Just like that. So once that dries down, I will call this makeup look done. So if you guys like this, then definitely check out all the products down below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. If you guys want to see any other kind of tutorials, if you've seen me wear another look, if you want me to try looks and see if I fail or if I pass or fail, that would be fun too. Let me know what you guys want to see. I really do want to hear from you guys. And that's about it. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.